Yeah. So sorry for delay because today from the today morning there is some net issues in the department. Okay. And just we will start. So anything you want to discuss before starting the class? If yes, just please let me know first. Okay. Yeah. So these three problems we have given to you, and to submit this. Okay. So this is very surprising to me. Ki most of you just have submitted in between today 10 to 11 time, because you have the complete day yesterday. Then after the lecture you have the Saturday time. Okay. So instead of that, most of them, approximately 80% of students whosoever have submitted the solutions in between 10 to 11. And still some of you are submitting. Why? I don't know. But this is your moral responsibility. This should not be happen. If you are serious about your studies, that is my suggestion only. You are mature enough. That is up to you. What you have to do. Okay. Because I am doing my work sincerely. Okay. Yeah. So it's still someone submitting. Who is role number 11? Aryan. Now please don't submit the solutions during lectures. Okay. So what we have discussed yes in the last lecture, we have discussed the some problems on the interpolation and the decimators, as well as some basic concept of the discrete Fourier transformation, and how to solve the problems on the discrete Fourier transformation or the inverse discrete Fourier transformation. Okay, and the some basic properties that I have given to you. Just prove all these properties by taking the as a reference from any one of the book of the DSP. So just I am listing what happened. Why this is invisible? Just wait. This is invisible. Yes. Still there are some issues. Okay. Okay. So today just I am going to just review for the properties of the DFT for them who are not just taken the review of that. Okay. So already we have discussed the property of the DFT is the periodicity, linearity. You know, if it follows the superposition theorem as well as the homogeneity, then we can say the our system is linear or it follows the linearity property. Third is the time reversal. Already we have discussed a little bit. If I am getting the time reversal x of n minus of n, that is the linear shifting of with respect to time. But in case of the DFT, always we use the circular shifting instead of the linear one. So we have to put here this mod of n. So you can write this term is x of n minus of n. If we take the DFT of this, so this will be x of minus of k mod of n. So this term will be x of n minus of k. Okay.
So we are not able to see what you are writing.
Okay. Why?
So don't know, sir, but I think that question 3C part is visible only.
Okay, just wait. I am sharing again. I think there is some net issues. Just wait, I can resolve.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay.
Okay. Now this is visible?
Yes, sir, it is.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. So what I'm discussing, just I'm going to just review of the DFT properties. Already we discussed in the last lecture the periodicity for the DFT. Then the linearity you know very well because we have studied so many times the linearity or the linear systems, how to define the linearity of a particular system. That is, there are two properties you need to check. Either first is the superposition, second is the homogeneity. If these two are satisfied, then you can say our system will follow the linearity. Second is the third is the time reversal. Already we had discussed a little bit in the last term. That is, instead of the linear shifting with respect to time, we use the circular shifting here. So x of minus of n mod of n, instead of we need to write x of minus of n only, as we studied for in case of the Fourier transformation or the Laplace or the Z transformations. So x of minus of n mod of n, that we can write x of capital N minus of n. N is the again number of the samples, and this is small n again it varies from 0 to n minus 1. If we take the DFT, then it will be x of minus of k mod of n. Then we should write x of n minus of k. Next is the shifting. Either we can shift in the time domain or in case of the frequency shifting in the frequency domain. So if we do the time shift, this is again the same, x of n minus of m. We use the circular shift in time, so it will be mod of n. And if we take the DFT of it, so you can prove W of n of m of k, x of k. Yeah. In case of the frequency shift, again the circular shift in respect to frequency. That means we need to check the frequency circular shifting in case of the x of k. But in the time domain, if we can write W of n minus of n of m xn. So we take the DFT, so it will be x of k minus of m, but it should be mod of n. Okay. Next is the convolution. But again the same thing in case of the convolution, because earlier whatever you have studied in case of the Fourier transformation or the Laplace transformation, that is a linear convolution. But here, because of the circular shifting, this is known as the circular convolution. Because in case of the linear convolution, what we have done, we need to check x of m, h of m minus, sorry, h of n minus n. That should be y of n. If we have the two sequence x of m and h of n, and we get the linear convolution, whatever you have studied earlier, that should be summation of x of m, h of n minus m. You can compute, because firstly you need to check h of minus of m, that is the time reversal. Then you need to check the shifting. Same here in the circular convolution. Only instead of h of n minus of m, this is a linear shift. Instead of this, we will check the circular shift here. That is only we will do. Instead of h of n minus m, we need to check h of n minus of m mod of n, and this summation sign will be m equal to 0 to n minus 1. Okay. So in case of circular convolution, if I'm writing here x of n, this is a symbol we can represent the circular convolution, but linear convolution only we need a symbol of the asterisk sign. Okay. So x of n, h of n, and if we take the DFT, so it will be the multiplication in the frequency domain. That should be x1 of k, x of k, not x1, xk into h of k. That means either you can compute this circular convolution using this mathematical expression as similar you have done earlier in the signal and systems for the linear convolution, or the second way, firstly you need to calculate the DFT of the x of n, that is x of k, then you will take the DFT of h of n, that is h of k, multiply these two, that way I am supposing here this is y of k, and then after from this y of k you can take the IDFT, this is the y of n, which is the circular convolution of these two. So here both the ways you can estimate the circular convolution, but the difference in the circular and the linear one is what? Instead of the linear shifting, here I am taking the circular shifting. Second difference, when you calculate the linear convolution, so the number of the sequence in the output, that will be the length of the first sequence plus length of the second sequence minus 1. That is the length of your output. But in this case of the circular convolution, the length of the output is the maximum length of the sequence, either xn or the h of n. That is not m plus n minus 1 as a linear convolution. But you can compute the linear convolution using circular. That way you can do. Okay. So basically circular convolution, why we are using? Because if you have in the real time, if you have the long periodic sequence, so that is the simplest way to find out the output value of any system. That means if you have the h of n, or you have the impulse response of any system, you can apply here h of n, x of n, then get the output value, that is y of n. And how to calculate this y of n? That is basically the linear convolution of x of n into h of n. But if it is the x of n having the 8 samples value or the 10 samples value or the 20 samples value, that is up to okay. You can compute mathematically, or you can compute on paper x of n into h of n. But if it is a long periodic sequence, suppose 100 samples are there, or 1000 samples are there, so that is difficult to calculate mathematically. On software you can calculate, but you have to write the programs. So the circular convolution basically helps to estimate the linear convolution in between x of n into h of n for the long periodic sequence also. Then how to calculate this circular convolution, we will discuss later. Next is Parseval's theorem. So again, this value will be n equal to 0 to n minus of 1. The first signal is x of n. Second, I am considering h star of n. So you can calculate the DFT of this directly. K equal to 0 to n minus 1. X of k, h star of k. So these are some basic properties of the DFT which you can use to estimate the discrete Fourier transformation. Fine. Now come to our circular convolution property first. Before that, just I am going through with the time reversal. Already we have discussed this one in the last one. This is what? Minus of n of k. This will be x of k of n, or we can say x of n minus of n. So we will have x of n minus of k. Okay. Now, firstly, we will analyze how the sequence or how we can do the circular shifting in terms of the samples value. Then we will go with the convolution. Already mod function we have discussed. So if I am supposing this x of n, that is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And this is n again in between 0 to n minus 1. So it always starts our zeroth index will be start with the from this point. Okay. Now, if I am taking the linear shifting, so if I am writing the x of minus of n, so you can directly write 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Right? Now here I'm writing x of minus of n mod of n. So this will be x of minus of n mod of n is what? 8. So this basically x of 8 minus of n. You can write. So if n equal to 0, this will be x of 8. If n equal to 1, this is x of 7. If n equal to 2, x of 6. N equal to 3, x of 5. Only we are putting n values in this function. X of 8 minus of n. Okay. Now same for n equal to 4. What happened? There is a problem. Yeah. Okay. So for this n equal to 4, there is some net issues today. So for n equal to 4, if I'm writing here 4 equal to 5, 3, x is 1. So see these terms. For n equal to 1, this is x of 7. X of 7 is what? 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And again x of 8, I can write this as 0 plus 8. This will be x of 0, and x of 0 is 0 term. So x of minus of n mod of n, this will become 0, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now you can analyze. In this way, if you can write, always you will be correct, putting the n equal to n values and calculate the n mod of n. Now see what happened. In case of the x of n, that is 0 to 7, if you are writing x of minus of n, considering the linear shift, only you need to rotate the complete sequence. So this is x of minus of n. If you are writing x of minus of n mod of n, so this 0 shifted circularly, and this becomes the first element 0, and rest of all the sequence forward to the 0 value. Okay. Now, suppose if I am taking x of minus of n plus 1 mod of it. If I am taking minus of n plus 1, so if I am rotating this series 1, so I can write 1, 0, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Now see what happened here. If n equal to 0, so this value becomes 1 of 8. This value becomes x1. If n is 1, so x of 0 mod of 8, this will be x of 0. If n is 2 here, so this will be minus 1 mod of 8. So this becomes minus 1 into 8 plus 7. So remainder will be 7. This is x of 7. So our first element x of 1, x1 is what in the x1? This is 1. Second is x of 0. Second term is 0. Third term, x of 7. This is again 7. So in this way, if you calculate for n equal to 7, so this value become 7 minus 6. Okay. This is 6, 8. So minus 1 into 8 plus 2. So this will become x of 2. And x of 2 here, 2. So last sample or sequence is 2. Now if you can write, suppose n plus of 2 mod of 8. So again this sequence separately rotated here. So your sequence will be 2, 1, 0, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Okay. So this is the basically visualization of the sequence, how we can rotate circularly. And same, this circular rotation will be used in the circular convolution estimation. Okay. Now we jump to the circular convolution. Okay, just before that, 2-1-ish problem. If this is x of n, now I am taking here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Suppose, okay. Now just tell me what is n minus of 4 mod 5 and what is x of minus n minus 4 mod 5. Just tell me quickly these two sequence. Then we will discuss the circular convolution. And n is always belongs to 0 to n minus 1. So capital N is 5. Three, four, five. Yeah. Then may check your answer for again. Yeah, first sequence is correct. 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. So the first sequence will be 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. Because if you are taking here n equal to 0, so first sequence will be x of minus of 4 mod of 5. So this will be minus 1 into 5 plus 1. So this will be x of 1 only. And x of 1 is 2. So it starts with the 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. If n is 1, so this will be minus 3 of 5. So this will be x of 2. If written n equal to 5, sorry, n equal to 4, not 5, because this is n up to n minus 1. So this will be 0 mod 5. So this will be x of 0. So last sequence will be 1. Okay. And the second sequence will be 2, 1, 5, 4, 3. Correct. Now, in this way, you will never wrong. But how to analyze by visualizing the function x of n minus of 4 or x of minus n minus of 4? Just see. If I am writing x of n minus of 4, x of n minus 1 mod of 5 simply. If I am writing x of minus 1 mod of 5, that means this n is not time reversed. Only we need to do the circular shift. And for n minus of 4, I need to do the circular shift 4 times. So for first time, what is the sequence? If I am getting circular shifted this one, I am writing here. That is 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. That is x of n minus 1 mod 5. Again, if I have shifted circularly, so this will be 4, 5, 1, 2, 3. Second time. Third time, if I have shifted circular, that means 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, and fourth time if I have shifted circularly this, so our sequence will be 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, and this is your answer. Okay, because n is not the minus of n. That's why I have not computed x of minus n mod of 5. Directly I have do the shifting. Now the second one, if I am writing x of minus n minus 1 mod 5, that means firstly I need to do the time reverse this sequence, then do the circular shift. So time reverse is what? If I am writing x of minus of n, this is the linear time reversal. So this will be 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just rotate or reverse the sequence. If I am writing x of minus of n mod of 5, so this will be only this bit shifted circularly, that is 1, 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay. Now do the shifting. Okay. Or otherwise, you can do this x of minus of n plus 4 mod 5. And this will be taking the p term. So x of minus of p 5. Do like this. Okay. So by any one of the way you can do the circular shifted. The best way to put the value from n equal to 0 to n minus 1, calculate the mod value for each individual value of small of n, then get the final answer. This is the best way. Okay. Now come to the circular convolution. It's only y of n. So I can write here x of m h of n minus of m y of n. So suppose if I am taking n equal to 4, okay, so y of n, if I am taking n equal to 0 here, because n equal to 0 to n minus 1, that is 3 value. So y of 0, this becomes m is equal to 0 n minus 1 x of m, and this will be mod of n. So h of minus of m mod of n. Okay. So this will be y0. I am taking the n equal to 4 here. So expand this summation sign, because m equal to 0 to 3, because capital N is 4. So x of 0, h of minus of 0 mod 4 plus x1 h minus 1 mod 4 plus x2 h minus 2 mod 4 plus x of 3 h minus 3 mod 4. Okay. Now if n is 1, y1 summation of m0 n minus 1 x of m h of 1 minus of n mod of 4. So you can expand this. It is x of 0 h of 1 mod 4 plus x of 1 h of 1 minus 1, this is 0, plus x2 h of minus 1 mod 4 plus x3 h of minus 2 mod 4 and so on. Again, you need to calculate for the n equal to 2 and the n equal to 3, because n goes from 0 to 3 value, 0 to n minus 1. So you can compute the y0, y1, y2 and y3. Because I am taking the n equal to 4, that is the maximum length of the one sequence in between x of n and h of n. Now you can write this sequence x of 0, h of minus 0 mod 4, this is x of 0 plus x1 minus 1 4, this is what? Minus 1 into 4 plus 3, this is h of 3 plus x2, this is h of 2 plus x3 h of 1. And I am considering here the x of n, this will be what? x0, x1, x2, x3, and h of n is h of 0, h1, s2, s3. These four sequence. You can consider the 8 point also, you can consider 5 point also, you can consider 7 point also. Whatever the value of the n, you can compute the output sequence of the circular convolution for n equal to 0 to capital N minus 1. And this n can be any value. So x of 0 you know, h of 0 you have, x of 1 s3 value you know, x2 s2 value you can get from the h of n, x3 and the h of 1 is also from the x of n and the h of n. So you can compute the h of 0. Second, y1 in the same way you can compute. This will be x of 0 h1 plus x of 1 h of 0 plus x2, this will be value s3 plus x of 3, and this mod value is h2. Similarly for the y of 2 you can compute, and similarly for the y of 3 you can compute. So this is the way to estimate the circular convolution from your mathematical expression. And whatever we have discussed before this, how to calculate or how will we shift it circularly this sequence, that is the way if you don't want to compute using the mathematical expression. So direct you can compute or directly you can validate your answers. Okay. This is the one method. Second method already we have discussed. Okay, firstly we need to compute the DFT from the x of n, that is as x of k. From the h of n we can compute the DFT, that is h of k. Multiply these two, we will get the y of k, and then after we can get the IDFT, which is your output of the convolution. And this multiplication is the element by element multiplication. This is not the vector multiplication, because x of k you have the two matrix, because this is, suppose this is value is x of 0 x1, x2, x3. Then after you multiply with this 4 by 4 matrix of W of 4, you can get here x of 0, x1, x2, x3. This is your DFT sequence for x of n. Then in the same way you can compute the second sequence, h of 0, h of 1, h of 2, h of 3. Now multiply these two. If you can multiply element by element, then you can get here x of 0, h of 0, x1, h of 1, x2, h of 2, x3, h of 3. This value becomes y0, y1, y2 and y3. Then after taking the IDFT, then you will get the output sequence in the time domain. Okay. Now just I'm giving an example. X of n, suppose minus 1, 2, 3, 2 is right. H of n, this is minus 0 0.5, 1, 1.5. No, 3 sequence, okay. Yeah. Sorry. So for an example, if I am having the 4 samples in the X of n, that is minus 1, 2, 3, 2. In the H of n, we have the 3 samples value. That means what is the maximum length of in these two sequence? Capital N is 4. Because we have the 3 samples value here, 4 samples value here. That means we have x of 0, x1, x2, x3, h of 0, h of 1, h of 2. And if I am considering h of 3, this will be 0. So now for this sequence, if we can compute the circular convolution, so this will be y of 0, y1, y2 and y3. Okay. So you have to do with this mathematical expression and compute the final value of the circular convolution. That is the first. Second, use the second method, compute the 4-point DFT of the x of n, compute the 4-point DFT of the h of n, multiply these two sequence, take the IDFT of a 4-point IDFT, and validate your results from both the representation on both the methods. In the short way, just I am doing here, because your circular convolution is what? This multiplication and the summations of x of n and the circular shifted version of the h of n, or in the reverse way also, the summation of the multiplication of h of n and the shifted version of h of n. From the formula you can see this two term. That is summation of, first is the summation of the multiplication of x of n and the shifted version of h of n. So just suppose I am taking x of n as it is, minus 1, 2, 3, 2. And I am going to calculate the circular shifted version of the h of n. The circular shifted version of the h of n is what? H of minus of n mod of n first. So what is h of minus of n mod of n? Just tell me. Directly, if you can do. because here we are computing the 4-point sequence. H of minus of n is what? S3, S2, H1, H of 0. So S3, S2, H1, H of 0. This means what? 0, 1.5, 1, minus 0.5. Then I am calculating the minus of n mod of n. So this will be minus 0.5, 0, 1.5, 1. Okay. Now here going to shift 1 minus of n mod of n. Now again I am shifted circularly this. So this sequence will be 1, minus 0.5, 0, 1.5. Third sequence, I am calculating 2 minus of n mod of n. This value again I am shifted circularly. This here, this will be 1.5, 1, minus 0.5, 0. And the fourth sequence, I am getting h of 3 minus of 4 of n, where n is the 4. So this will be 0, 1.5, 1, minus 0.5. Again, if you are taking the circular shift, that is 4 minus of 4 of n, 4 minus of n mod 4. So again you get the same value of h of minus of n, because again it is the periodic. So I need to calculate only these 4 sequence. Why? Because we need to calculate y of 0. Y of 0 is what? This term from the expression. Y1 is what? M is 0 to n minus 1. X of m, h of 1 minus of m, capital of n. Y of 2 is what? Summation of x of m, h of 2 minus of m, capital N. And y of 3 is summation sign. Again, this is m equal to 0 to n minus 1. X of m, h of 3 minus of m. That means we need to compute the 4 sequence of y0 to y3 with the summation of the multiplication of x of m and the shifted version of h of m. So x of n, we are taking as it is the sequence, and we will get the circular shifted version of h of n. So if I am calculating the h of 0, that means it is directly multiplication element by element with the x of m and the x of minus of m mod of n. So this sequence you can compute, or you can compute the multiplication of element by element with these two sequence directly. So y of 0, I am calculating minus 1 multiply minus 0.5, that is plus 0.5, plus, because summation of the multiplication, so 2 multiplied by 0, this is 0, plus 3 multiplied by 1.5, this is 3.5, plus 2 multiplied by 1, this is 2. So this becomes something. Let's check. So 3.5, 4, 6. Or calculation you will check. Okay. And just 4.5. Why this is 4.5? Sushant? Okay, sorry. Correct. This is 4.5. So this is 5. This is 7. Okay. Then y1, this x of n and the h of minus 1 of x, you can multiply, calculate the value. Y of 2, you can multiply with the x of n with the x of 2 minus of mod of n, then y3. Okay. Yeah. So by this way, you can compute the y0 to y of 3 directly. But this is the short way कि you can validate your results. But if you have to do using the mathematical expression, at least you should know how to calculate all these terms or all these mod values and what is the process behind the circular convolution. Because when you refer the book, there is some graphical approach also. But within the graphical approach, and if we increase the number of the samples value, so then again you will confuse. So at least you should know the basic concept behind the circular convolution, how we do the circular shifted version of the one of the sequence, how we can multiply these together, then how will be summed up to get the final output value. Okay. And please validate these results. Whatever you will get from this value y0 to y3 with these two approach, from the DFT approach as well as using the mathematical expression. Why I am stressing using this mathematical expression approach? Because once you solve 2-3 problems on the circular convolution using the mathematical formula, so every time you need to calculate the mod value, this term. At least you have some practice how to calculate these mod values, and using this mod value how to calculate the output of these convolutions. Because when we will discuss in the next lecture the convolution of the long periodic sequence and how to calculate the linear convolution using the circular. So again, the same method you have to use. So please do these two things. One is the DFT sequence, using the DFT sequence as well as the mathematical expression. Okay. Anything you want to ask? If not, then I'm going to end the session. So in the next class, we will discuss the linear convolution versus circular as well as the long periodic sequence convolution. Okay.